How is it going, YouTube? Back at it with the next installment of Helluva Knight. For those of you who just clicked onto this series, this is part 5 of an ongoing story I am writing. If you are interested, I have links in the description to the first part and where I post the story. For those who are returning, I have a question for you. Would you be interested in gameplay in the background? I'm unsure what game I would play, but it would probably be Oblivion to keep the tangential hellscape appearance. If it is something you would like, please let me know. Now, before we get to the next part, if you like what you are hearing, leaving a like and a comment below is appreciated. And if this is the sort of content you are into, perhaps subscribing is for you. Now on to the 5th chapter of Helluva Knight. Long, long ago in another, something like this would have never happened. He was more careful. He was always prepared. He had a reason to be ready, a family to protect. Now, he allowed someone like Blitzo to invade his personal space while he slept without receiving a kunai to the face. He let almost anyone into his bubble without care. It wasn't like anyone could threaten him the way he was now. A hellfox, a sinner, a being from another world. You know this place is a fucking dump? Blitzo's voice rang through his ears. The imp perched on top of Naruto so they could look eye to eye as the moment Naruto's eyes opened. You would think, as the embodiment of death, you could afford to live. Anywhere better than this shithole on the outskirts of Cannibal Town? It's cheap. Locals don't mess with me. They know what I'm about. Only the out-of-towners try anything stupid like trespassing on my premises. Naruto rolled his eyes, glaring at Blitzo. You mind? A little, Blitzo smugly responded, hesitating momentarily before hopping down. You got a nice piece down there. Betcha you've quelled a few conflicts with that thing. Ah, gross, Loona growled in disgust. I don't need to hear about that sort of thing first thing in the morning. Naruto's attention was drawn to a flushed Loona. It worsened as he sat up, slid off his sheets, and was exposed before everyone. She was doing everything she could to keep her gaze from shifting toward him, even to the point she was focusing on his worn down and collapsing makeshift kitchen. Ugh, this place makes the office look pleasant. I take offense to that. You don't even want to know the amount of favors I had to pay back and the strings I pulled to get IMP up and running. Blitzo waved Loona off and glared as Naruto slipped into his clothes. However, he scowled, noting Luna's reaction. And I thought I told you to wait in the van. Yeah, wait in the van in the middle of Cannibal Town, a place none of us fit into. Loona rolled her eyes, continuing to wander and observe the broken-down apartment, her eyes drawn to the one thing in the house that was kept in pristine condition. Why is this coffee cup in such better condition than everything here? Because it means something. Naruto snatched the cup from Luna's side as the coffee brewed. Staring at her and then Blitzo, he tapped his foot several times in annoyance. Why are you here? No, better yet, how did you know where I live? Hey, I poked around, asked a few questions. I heard you've been visiting that hotel several times. That fallen angel seemed to know where you lived. Blitzo nonchalantly responded, his gaze shifting toward Naruto. And for the briefest moment, there was a sense of, nah, that couldn't be. Wait, why did Vaggie know where he lived? And I have to know where my employees live. It's mandated that we carpool to work together. We got the one space, and I'm not paying for another, even with the uptick in cash. Blitzo snapped his fingers and glowered at Naruto. Now hurry your ass. This place is on the other side of the city, and I still have to pick up Millie and Moxxie on the way. Naruto frowned. Blitzo knew Naruto didn't drive to work, didn't know how to drive, nor cared to learn. Too slow. Yeah, Naruto yawned, aloofly waving Blitzo's concerns off as he poured a cup of coffee. With a sip, he glanced at the irritated Blitzo as he and Loona led the way out. Naruto simply nodded to himself, shrugged his shoulders, and followed. Today was gonna be an enjoyable day. He hoped. Motherfucker! Blitzo's agitated voice rang through the car. He said something else as he left the car, but Naruto couldn't hear a word he said. He barely noticed Loona skipping in her seat, startled at the rude awakening. The ringing in his ears caused him to curl his ears as he shivered and growled, glaring at the vehicle surrounding him. Hate these damn death traps. You'll get used to it, hun, Millie beamed, chipper as always. Hardly. Loona rolled her half-lidded eyes, yawning and slumping further in her seat, settling back into a comfortable position. Wake me when it's... Loona stopped mid-statement. Her expression perked up as she alertly sat in her seat, staring at where Blitzo had walked. Someone else had decided to occupy their only parking space. Naruto repressed an exasperated sigh. Wonderful. If there was something that could set Blitzo off... However, his attention shifted back to Loona as she scurried to the other side of the van, nervously peeking her gaze slightly above the window. Naruto pursed his muzzled lips and tilted his head, observing the curious response from the broody hellhound. Following her twitchy gaze, Naruto bit back a guffaw. One of the two individuals Blitzo was confronting was a massively well-built hellhound perched defensively next to a tall succubus. Her bodyguard, most likely. Naruto temporarily frowned and scrunched his brow. He felt he should have recognized him. He seemed familiar. With a shrug of his shoulders, Naruto deftly leapt over Loona and out of the van's window. Without missing a beat, he landed into a straight march toward the group with intent. He had a job to do. If this succubus, this pop star had hired muscle, well, there wasn't a soul stronger than him. In this hellscape of a universe. Yo, move ya scrap heap, Naruto barked, fangs bared, as he gnarled them before stopping beside Blitzo. With a deep breath, he spoke in a frighteningly calm manner. Look, I'm feeling generous today. I'm gonna give you to the count of 3 to hop in and find your own damn parking spot, or I'm gonna melt this junk into a puddle so we can park over it. Interestingly enough, when the large hellhound laid eyes on him, he flinched at what Naruto said. Did he know this guy? He felt like he really should. Who the fuck do you think you are? Verosica haughtily huffed as she snapped her fingers. Do you even know who I... Verosica Mayday, a generationally famous pop star in both the living world and hell. I am well aware of who you are, and whom you may have done and had a falling out with before you caught your big break. Naruto nonchalantly responded before holding up his hand and lifting a single finger. 1. How the hell do you know that? Blitzo's attention jerked toward Naruto. Naruto's simple, annoyed stare conveyed his answer. Ah, that makes sense. It's your specialty. Blitzo sheepishly laughed off before turning a nasty glare toward Verosica. Might want to hurry up and move your fancy car out of my space. He's done this before. 2. Naruto extended a second finger. His left hand twitched, and a fiery sphere burned in his palm, ready to pull the trigger. Demons weren't responsible, and from the look on Verosica's face, she would be no different. 3. Boss, give me the keys. The hellhound outstretched his palm, demanding the car keys. I'll move it. He won't hesitate. What? Verosica looked visibly stunned at her hellhound's response before looking indignant. This is the kind of situation I pay you for. Do your job, Vortex. I am. Vortex lowly growled and stared at his boss. I'm protecting you from yourself. Verosica visibly flinched, and a horrified expression crossed her features. But she did as Vortex asked and handed him the keys. Vortex simply strode past her to safely move the expensive car. Do I know you? Naruto verbally confronted Vortex, his brow furrowed as the hellhound opened the car door. I'd be surprised if you did. You might have heard my name once or twice. Vortex shook his head as he slid into the vehicle. But I know all about you from B, Lightbringer. Naruto froze in place. That was not a name he had heard in a long time. Not since. His hope waned and evaporated. Naruto felt a chill as Vortex pulled the car out of the space. He didn't even notice Blitzo's laughter and mockery of Verosica, or when Loona parked the van and everyone went in. All he noticed was the world drained of colors and a shade of gray engulfed everything. Why are you still out here? A bark caught Naruto's attention, and he stared into Luna's unique eyes. Are you... Blitzo was wondering where you went. We've got a job. Oh, be right there. Naruto inhaled deeply before nodding and walking past Loona, who stared awkwardly at him. It didn't matter if the world was filled with blobs or blots of shadowy light. He pushed it aside. None of that mattered. He had a job to do, something to focus on. Push through this haze. Perhaps, just possibly, there would be a light beyond if he kept fighting. It was all the hope he had left in him. This job was tedious. A murder spree in the middle of spring break should have been fun. A time to kick back and just go ham. Vent all his frustration. Maybe he was lucky and he drew heaven's ire again. Have them send down Adam to get his teeth kicked in again. Or even better, Archangel Michael. Instead, this was a fucking pissing contest between Blitzo and Verosica. That sucked all the energy and fun of having all these contracts right out of him. Naruto couldn't honestly find the strength to care. Somehow he knew IMP would bullshit their way into victory. He just let them handle this until something required his attention. Like a giant mutant fish attacking the shore. Wiping the exploded fish guts from his human form, his true form, Naruto rolled his eyes. How the hell did that even happen? What did you fuck-ups do? Oh, so now he speaks? I was worried you had become a mute, Blitzo snarkily replied, his eyebrow raised as Millie excitedly bounced out of the corpse of the mutant fish and into Moxxie's arms. Blah! If you had sunk any further into the depths, I was about to slap some sense into you. You're better off on your own and not having to deal with those responsibilities. Relationships aren't bad, sir. You simply had a lousy track record, Moxxie commented after giving Millie a quick smooch. They can be rewarding if you put in the effort, Millie chirped, gently tapping Naruto on his wrist, unable to reach his shoulder to place a hand on. Don't worry, hun. There is always someone for you. The hell are you three blabbering about? Naruto raised his brow and pulled his arm back. B and I were partners and occasional lovers, nothing more. B being in a healthy relationship is great. I'm happy for her. Then what the fuck has all the mooping all day been about? You've been brooding more than Loona, and she's goth or emo, depending on the day. Blitzo loudly snapped. Fuck you! Loona strolled to the group, flipping Blitzo off while rolling her eyes momentarily before focusing on Naruto with the same look she had been giving him all day. A mixture of odd confusion and concern. Oh, I think I know. Moxxie had a sudden epiphany. We've been focused on the wrong thing. It's because of... Enough! Let's get out of here before anyone notices your dumb asses. How you guys haven't been caught this entire time without disguises is beyond me. Naruto snarled, cutting Moxxie off as he rippled a tear through the world. We're just that good, Blitzo cockily responded, hopping through the tear first. Naruto grunted and gestured for the others to follow suit, which they thankfully did. This was not a subject he wanted to discuss. He still didn't really know them, or want to know them. He didn't want to open ever again. Why can't I ever get a moment to myself? Naruto weakly sighed, pondering his question aloud. It had to be Blitzo. The imp was becoming incredibly brazen in invading his privacy. This would be twice in a single day. He could deal with the daily invasions. He was used to them. But tonight, he really didn't want to deal with anyone. He had just lain down and was ready to call it a night. Closed his eyes and was prepared to force himself to sleep before he felt a warm presence perch on top of him, much closer than this morning. Now that he thought about it, he didn't believe Blitzo would want to virtually be riding him, given his odd relationship with, now that's rude. A surprisingly feminine voice rang out. B? Naruto rapidly sat up to find Beelzebub's face uncomfortably close to his as she straddled him. Down, boy, Beelzebub chastised Naruto, poking him in the nose and laughed. As much as I long to remember the nights we had together, I'm seeing someone new, as I've told you before. But I can't help but reminisce about the times this was inside of me. Says the one on top of me, vocalizing her desire to fondle my dick, Naruto growled. Fair enough, I'll stop. Beelzebub nodded, sliding down and off Naruto and sitting down on the edge of the bed. She glowered as she glanced around the place. I was told this place was awful, but that hardly describes how decrepit this place is. And who told you that? Naruto growled before shaking his head. Better yet, why are you here? Darling, how would I not hear about my boyfriend finally having the chance to meet you in person? Beelzebub laughed temporarily before wilting under his gaze. Not buying that, huh? Let's say a little rubber birdie might have brought your living conditions to my attention. Had to come see for myself. Beelzebub snorted as if it was evident before she mischievously smirked. Lucy, Naruto bitterly growled. the next time they were in a room together. Seems like you have made some new friends at least. Good ones. Beelzebub's smirk faded as she gazed back at Naruto. They're just co-workers, nothing more. Naruto grunted, shaking his head. Doesn't sound like it to me. What kind of co-worker asked a person they barely know for a favor from one of the 7 deadly sins? B scoffed and glared at Naruto. Blitzo asked for a favor? To check on me? Naruto raised his eyebrow before letting rip a snarky laugh. The bastard shows up randomly and in the weirdest places to observe what I'm doing. No, darling, that imp is too proud to do anything of the sort. B snorted, nodding in agreement. She revealed a fanged smirk. Ah, it's so sweet to see that little wolf blush when she expressed concern about you. Looks like you're still the light of someone's world despite how depressingly you present yourself now. Naruto snarled and Beelzebub exhaled, hanging your head. Still don't like being reminded of your past, of what you used to be for everyone here. I failed, B, Naruto coldly retorted at first. However, his features slowly slumped and he expressed a rare vulnerability. I couldn't save this world. It's too... I know. Beelzebub gingerly flicked a finger against Naruto's cheek, gently caressing him. It is an impossible task, but a worthy cause. There are still others fighting that same fight. B smiled, lifting his gaze into hers, before violently shoving him off the bed. And the first step is kicking your ass out of this dump. This place is part of the problem. What the fuck? Naruto roared, defiantly glaring back at Beelzebub as he stood back up. It's cheap, out of the way, and no longer yours. Beelzebub revealed a rolled document before showing it to Naruto. And as owner of this establishment, I'm kicking you out. Naruto blinked several times, staring at the official document. It was real, he was sure of that. He had half a mind to incinerate it, but he knew she was too smart for that, and this was only the backup. You're joking, Naruto deadpanned. I am not. Beelzebub huffed, crossing her arms before reaching into her bosom and pulling out a key. This, however, is your new room key to your new place. Scrunching his features in disbelief, Naruto glanced between the key and Beelzebub several times before glowering. Just what are you plotting? I'm not leaving. Oh, yes, you are. Beelzebub snapped her fingers and grinned. I brought someone to assist with escorting you to your new place, so be a darling and don't struggle too much. You better not struggle at all. Naruto froze as a familiar voice resonated from behind his door. And on the other side, as it opened, a fallen angel was revealed, arms crossed and glaring, before she rolled her eyes at his state of undress. Should have known. You have no idea how nervous Charlie has been all night, so let's get going. Vaggie placed her hand on her hip. Let's not keep her waiting any longer.